Hey, this is Luke with another Bearcat Unleashed video. Today, we're going to assemble the CH8993H. This comes in two crates, the main crate with the machine, and then a secondary crate with the in-feed chute and other hardware. First thing we're going to do is take all the plastic off, and then we're going to take the main parts of the crate off. So now that we have all the plastic taken off, we're going to cut these bands, take the tires out. Now that we got the tires removed, we can take all the little parts that are mounted to the crate off before disassembling it. Now that we have all the parts taken off the crate, we can disassemble it using a Sawzall. So now that we have the crate removed from the pallet, we're going to take the rest of the parts off and loosen up the bolts that hold down the main machine. Now that we have everything removed, we're going to take this off the pallet using an overhead crane and a strap. I would recommend using a crane. It's a little bit more stable, but if you don't have a crane, you can also do the same thing with a forklift. When you do hook it up, make sure to wrap it underneath the feed roller housing and not to hit any of these wires or parts on the side that might bend or break. So now that we have the unit lifted into the air and the pallet removed, I'd recommend getting some jack stands, some blocks, or a regular jack and set it down so you can mount the tires and the hitch pole on. We're going to open up our second box so we can get our owner's kit out of there and use all the hardware to mount up the tires and all the other components. So right now we're going to tear down the owner's kit, take all the hardware out and lay it out, make sure that we have everything that we need to assemble the rest of this machine. Here we have the packing list. With everything checked off, we're going to set that aside and use it later to make sure that we do actually have all the parts that we need. So here, the bag with all the hardware. Your owner's manual, your engine owner's manual. Some stickers, some other equipment like safety glasses. Got your hitch, blade tester, a pin, the hitch mount, and your discharge rings. Also, when you get this in with your machine, make sure to keep it, because it is used to measure if your blades are still sharp and when to replace them. So now that we have everything laid out, we're going to go back to our tires, put them on using this and a torque wrench. So now that we got all the lug nuts snugged up, we're gonna put the hitch pull on so we can set it down, and then we're gonna torque everything down. Before you put your hitch pull on, it's very important to route your trailer wiring harness properly so that you don't pinch your wires and destroy them. So first thing you're gonna wanna do is run it through this hole at the bottom. And then from there, there's a hole right on the back of this plate. And you run it through there all the way to the end of the hitch pull. So now that we have the wiring harness pulled through that hole, you're gonna need a wire at the proper length to run it through the rest of the hitch pull. What you're gonna do is wrap one end of the wire around your harness, and then you're gonna run it through your hitch pull so you can pull it through the other side. Now that you got your harness pulled tight, you can mount up your hitch pull so you can pull it the rest of the ways through. After that, you're gonna put 2 bolts into the hitch pull to mount it. There's 5 different holes, so you can set it to whatever adjustment you want. Okay, so now that we have the hitch pull put on and the wire ran through it, we're going to put the bolts in to secure it to the machine. So now we have the hitch pull safely secured the rest of the machine. We're going to cut off these zip ties, drop down this front jack, and then we can take it off the jack stands, put it on the ground. So after we set this down, we can get all bolts and the lug nuts tightened down and torqued. So now that we have the trailer back on the ground, we can take our torque wrench, torque down all the lug nuts to 75 foot-pounds. So now that we have the chipper put on the ground and the lug nuts torqued down, we're going to put the hitch on. You're going to need all the hardware, some wrenches, and an impact to get these put on. After you've had everything assembled and put down on the ground, you might have to remove this bracket to get your stabilizer on. Now that we have the hitch assembly done and the stabilizer put on the machine, we can take the in-feed chute and remove it from the box. We're going to use an overhead crane to take it out. Then we're going to get another team member to come in and help us install it onto the machine. And now that we have the in-feed chute taken out of the crate, we can put the eye bolt in this slot right here for the center of mass of this part. This is a lift point, so that you can lift this up and mount it to the machine and balance it. Now that we have this hooked up, we can lift it up, put it on the machine. So when you're putting the in-feed chute on the unit, these top holes might be blocked by the feed roller. A good way to get that out of the way is by using this jack here and lifting that feed roller up so you can get your bolt through the hole. So before you get this last bolt mounted on the in-feed chute, you're going to want to take this DDC and put it on the top so that you can get your wiring harness back here to mount onto that. So now that we have the DDC put on top, we have enough wiring harness so that we can secure it to the side of the machine. Now, we're going to do the discharge chute. First thing we're going to do is install the deflector shield. To do that, you'll need your hardware and a 9/16 socket. When you put on your deflector shield, make sure not to over tighten it so that you can get a little bit of movement in there. You can adjust it by tightening these down. The next thing we're going to do is put on one set of discharge rings on the back, make it easier to mount to the machine later. And when you put this on, you want to leave it a little bit loose so that you can mount it up on there properly. After you get that on, you get your next set of discharge rings and put those on. So after you get your discharge chute on, you want to give it a couple pumps of grease. So the final step on assembling this machine, you're making sure that you have power to your DDC and putting zip ties on the tie downs. After you get the wiring harness plugged in, you can put zip ties on it. You want to check to make sure that you have enough hydraulic fluid and engine oil added to your machine. Thanks for tuning in to Bearcat Unleashed assembly of the CH8993H. Tune in next time for more.
Hey, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out our other videos on our channel to learn more about Crary Bearcat products and get tips from the pros like me, and see our equipment in action.